Happy boys. More happy boys over there. Finally found a pitchfork. There used to be one here, and I guess when we were cleaning stuff up, it got moved. There's a barrel right there. Where'd my finger go? Hey, there it is, huge. Right there with some handles sticking up out of it. I don't know if it's the right pitchfork that used to be back here, but there's one stuck over there now. Dang, hey, pretty good shot of the sprayer, eh? It's just light enough I can see that without the camera. Really see it with it. That couple of these guys are, at least one anyway, still out there with his head in the feeder. There's room for another one here. Oh, and yeah, no mention of any dense fog advisory or anything for today. It's thicker than it was yesterday when they did put out an advisory. Make sure all the dogs are out of there, because until we get some hay out, they can't get in and out once that door's shut. They can, but they got to jump off the other end on top of the equipment. That's not good. And yeah, I don't know what's going to go on today. Maybe we'll get something done. I haven't made it to the shop yet. Working my way there. Blue, leave him alone. And I was thinking we might end up feeding them today and maybe try to clean that barn out, but that middle feeder's still full. They'll get over it. They'll eat it one way or the other. So anyway, show you what we got when we got it. It's too freaking sloppy to try to do much repairing in the cow lot yet. I mean, I could put stuff in there, but it's so freaking wet that it'll just slop out and be gone. They all think they have to run to the barn because Blue walked beside them. And they're going to be loud, go figure. Every morning. My fans, that needs to get cleaned out too, but they got enough waste now. At least they're standing in the dry while they eat. Oh yeah, proof Becky did spray the yard a while back. It finally started turning the other day. Takes it a while this time of year. Cooler temps, it absorbs it a lot slower. The red light is not on. Yeah, it's warm in here. It's not running at the moment. It's, well, thermostat's set at 50. It must have just shut off before I walked in, because thermometer over here says 54. And usually it'll say 50 or a little below. Yeah, 54.1. Still no truck in here. Going through shit, trying to get you cleaned up and get more of this shit out of the way. And hey, there's a trick for you. Dirty bolts, you want to clean them up? Don't spend hours scrubbing on them. Those are good 3/8 pine thread bolts. Empty water bottle or something similar. Water bottle actually works pretty good with these anyway because they fit. And I was able to spray directly on them without getting the face full. Shake them around a bit. Let them sit for a while. Do it a couple more times. Dump them out onto a rag and let them dry. So, yeah. My little drawers up there, the far one now has electric cord ends in it. Of course, most of them are bigger 220 ends. Kind of running out of 110 ends. And she's conglomerating roofing screws.
The 2 gigantic ass buckets, the screw buckets upstairs.
Yeah, we got 2 of those buckets upstairs full of roofing screws, used and new. They all got someplace to be used, right? And trying to get stuff situated over here again. And I don't know if I showed it earlier or not. Yep. Just for Piper Doug. Nah, we're not going to use the door anymore.
Damn it.
Had to put things someplace. That's where the plywood's going to set. It's not like it's going to get caught when we come through the door or something, but it doesn't stick out that far. And under a mirror, but that stuff sticks out far enough to catch a mirror before you catch it with that anyway. So that's what's happening. Just making more mess so we can clean it up better, I guess. And that thing's still working like it should. I do have to get that pan of diesel and water out of here, though. Yay. Somebody made a liar out of me yesterday. We do have Blakely today. Brooke had a bunch of work she had to do on the house because they're still getting settled in and getting stuff painted and that kind of thing. And
She wasn't a cute outfit.
she wasn't a cute outfit, but she had the snotty pukes earlier, so.
Jamie's it is.
But she just woke up from a nap right when I came in to eat lunch. So there she is. And of course, Ty's got to watch her for a bit because Becky's up on the hill cleaning the house. She says, "Oh, I won't be long." Yeah, whatever. I did get a good share of the shop cleaned up. I got room to get a truck in there now. So after lunch, I'm going to hopefully get the truck done. Yeah. So far, she's been a happy girl. Hey, it's actually in here. Yeah, sure would be nice to have a big enough shop to actually get trucks in. But, you know, built a lot of truck beds in here. Put a lot of them together with some of that tarp out the front. The blue truck, the bed fits. See, that's a 12-foot bed. And the blue truck's a 24-foot bed. And when we were putting that truck together, we couldn't put the ladder up and down. Back of the truck was about here. You could just walk sideways through there, just barely. And that tarp came down between the headboard and the cab. And had ladders propping it, had tires tied with twine to the tarp and a couple other tarps on it. And we used to have, works really good, in case anybody thinks about it or needs it, a old tractor tire inner tube. Because, you know, even with the tarp down and the cab blocking things, a lot of air comes in underneath. Stick an inner tube underneath there and blow it up, even if you got to turn it sideways so it goes this way. It makes a big difference when you're trying to keep warm and do stuff. Anyway, I did my measuring yesterday, part of it. And apparently things weren't even, but we bought the bed. This bed was on a friend's truck, went through a fire when his barn burned down. That's where the bed and hoist came from, and still don't know why we can't keep seals in the hoist, but we put the diving plate on it and put the headboard on it. And our uprights in there. For some reason, and it may be because the way the front of the bed was, I don't know. They're not exactly perfect. From this one, I'm going in. I gotta get my cheat sheet. Wrong side. Driver's side, 32 inches in is where I'm making the cut. The passenger side, it's 31 and a half inches in. So why it's off that, I don't know, but that puts the hole equally between the two center uprights. Wow, that is not focused at all. Apparently it doesn't like to focus on that. There we go. Well, I hope that's right. Near as I can tell, should let me see the hitch when we're hooking up, and should let me see the trailer when it's over there. Roughly the bottom of the window and the top of the window. And say well, right there's a weld. So the width of my finger in from the edge of the tube there. Same thing here, width of my finger in, give or take. 12 by 27 3/4 is what it comes to. And there's why you save old speaker magnets. If you're dealing with a steel cab, it's easy to hold the welding blanket on. And I think I mentioned before, there's not a lot of room between the cab
in the bed. As I fall over. This is the back of the cab up here. Down there, it's another inch or two. So anyway, I would love, seriously love, to be able to use the plasma, but I'm not going to blast sparks that way. Things are way too close. Even with a good blanket, it'd burn it up, and this blanket's been burnt to shit. And I can't get my hand down in there with the plasma torch to reach it. So I guess it's going to be from this side with a cutoff wheel. That's a lot of cutting for a cutoff wheel. And yeah, oh hey, you could use a reciprocating saw. Yeah, I could. That distance in there on, that's either 14 or 16 gauge steel, I'd break more teeth off than I'd use to cut, because that whole thing is just going to be one like this. Trust me, I know. And I don't know, guessing at probably 16. That's usually what we use, but sometimes on headache racks we go a little heavier. Side racks we use 16. This is 3/16. This actually came out of a fruit processing plant that closed down. And then, since this was originally a wood deck, obviously it was burnt off. There's square tube underneath, lengthwise, to space it up so it's even. And that's what these are. We cut holes to line up on the square tube so it's welded down on it, plus the whole perimeter. And there's 3 sheets to do this. I have more that has a place to go someday, but I got to get that place to go here first. I've got a 48-foot trailer that is almost a twin to the one I got, but I have yet to take possession of it. I've owned it for 6 years. It's in a safe place. As far as I know, it's still there. It's one of the things I've been trying to get to this winter. And I'm hoping I got enough blanket down there that sparks won't be an issue. If so, and there's smoke, well, open the doors and drag it out. There's a hole. Go find me some rebar. I'm going to put across the top and bottom will go to the stakes, because I can get into that enough to weld it without being on the front side of the head rack. And against each end will be 12-inch long uprights, and every 4 inches. So I need 8 to fill that in. And we measured that. It's 16 gauge. I was thinking it was. It's usually what we used on stuff, but it could have been 14. But it is 16 gauge. It is 083, 16 gauge. There it is. Just finished welding it. It ain't copacetic. That one and that one are parallel and the same distance apart. This one may be a little in at the top, but I had trouble cutting that part. I cut that bottom right perfect on the line. Do you think I get anywhere close on the top? Oh, hell no. It's a little bit taller on this end, like 16th, maybe a little over. But that's what it is. I'll grind her up tomorrow. Everything's welded from this side because I can't get to the other side. I don't know if I can show you. I really don't. So I can get my hand out of the way if I can look at the camera. There. I thought about reaching over the top and welding to the tube there, but you can see I got welded around from underneath far enough. I'm not going to worry about it. You know, crap's going to get down on top of that. Nothing I'm going to do about that. It's all stuck. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it, and it is all stuck good to this. Can't go anywhere because it's welded to it here, and that's welded to the tube. The tube's right here. And yes, there is a bow. That was the bow that was in it to begin with. I kind of had it out, but time you get done welding like that, it's back. The top is reasonably, I think the top's straight, but that's where the bow was in that sheet from when we put it on. So anyway, Clean that up tomorrow because I ain't gonna do it tonight. Run the grinder around. I just want to smooth it so there's nothing sticking out. That's all I'm gonna do. Maybe knock some goobers off. And no, I'm not gonna touch it. It's hot. And I forgot when you're doing very much. I mean, I welded a lot of rebar, welded a lot of T-post stuff too. The silica content in rebar must be a little higher than a lot of steel. We've run into that on welding wire. Welding wire was too high of a silica content, and you got sparks everywhere, and they're big sparks. It was just little sparks. It's kind of like if you're grinding on cast iron, the little tiny sparks that fly off. And I didn't get it on all of it, so I don't know. Could have been something to do with the rust on it. I don't know. And of course, took one little, I was sitting on that, so my pant leg was, like so. Yeah, I got me a burn about there on both ankles. Perfect. So anyway, thanks for watching, everybody. I decide if I want to do the high dive or turn around and walk down. Yeah, I know. Don't use the top step. Okay, see, you did not see me use the top step. Well, this stuff ain't going anywhere. It'll sit here. And I don't see any smoke coming up anywhere. Take a flashlight, look in there in a minute just to make sure, but I don't think there's anything there. Transmission's farther ahead, I do believe. So, and I'm going to leave the blanket in there just because I still got to have something when I paint it. Although I may shift it up a little bit because there's a hole right there. And that's got the window right on the other side of it. So I may shift it up. Anyway, thanks for watching, everybody. Finally got this freaking thing almost done. Get her cleaned up, get some paint on it tomorrow, and it'll be good to go for Sunday. Might just leave it in here tomorrow. Let the paint set good. It's never a bad idea. Kind of wish Dad would have let me do that when I painted the front of the truck. Made this paint job nice and smooth and beautiful till you get up here. I painted that on a nice, very hot April day. And I told Dad, no, it needs to stay in the shop. Leave it in the shade. I had the fans going in here so it wasn't too freaking hot. He insisted he had to have it that day. These blistered within about 20 minutes of being out in the sunlight. There's still a blister there. I mean, there were blisters over there the size of my hand, up like this. It's like, then he was mad because the paint job was shit. I told you. What you want me to do? Oh, by the way, if you don't have anywhere to hook a ground clamp, that's what I like to do. I put that where it doesn't matter. Nobody's going to see if it scuffed it. Clamped it on tight, wiggled it good, hooked to it. Good ground. Works pretty much every time. Oh, well. That's it. Hope you all had a great Friday. Hope everybody has a great Saturday. Thanks for watching. Yep, she's still here. Ty hasn't left with her yet.
We'll see if she'll let me show you guys. So you got T-fur on the bottom.
Tons in
The way.
I think I saw a little white spot.
So you got two of them.
Anyway, Blake, leave that stuff alone.
Buggy, buggy.
She's starting to grab everything. Gonna take all that stuff off, and I can't get my arm around there. There we go. I got her now. Hey, fine. Ah, there we go. Okay, tell everybody thanks for watching. Bye bye.